believe she got involved in some kind of, oh, I don't know, mind control. You know, she mentioned being hypnotized in the car on the way home. And there are incidences of mass hypnosis that have occurred all over the world. What if someone is controlling the minds of children all over Middleburg?
You're saying that someone is coming into this house to control our children's minds.
How could they do that? So remember, my friends, when you're ready to make
Disclaimer, this project is not meant to defame any of the artists featured. All mentioned we will assume are clueless to the fact that they are puppets and will refer to them as collateral damage in a grand scheme. Enjoy. Okay, so beta programming is a form of monarch mind control, aka MK Ultra. It was put in place by the raggedy ass shadow government long ago. They use subliminal imagery, sounds, frequencies to influence no one other than you, and they also use celebrities and national events to do this. So think Victoria's Secret's fashion shows, Super Bowl, VMAs. Over the decades, we've all possibly been exposed to beta programming. It's not gender specific, but it's usually portrayed by female characters. Let's note that you'll usually always see animal print, monarch butterflies, or the obvious, my favorite, checkerboard. Real quick, this programming eliminates all learned moral convictions and stimulates the primitive sexual instinct devoid of inhibitions. Cat alters may come out at this level. Oh, and also red, black, and white. Now, if this even exists, because it's all a theory, what's the point of it? In my opinion, this is just my opinion, the only opinion that I'm probably going to give in this video. In my opinion, the point of it is to control, hypersexualize, and disassociate us from ourselves. And, you know, do the same thing to our youth. It's always about the kids. You know, the children are our future. So if you start with them young, then you'll have control over them forever. I know that pedophilia, child trafficking is a huge behind-the-scenes issue in today's world. And I think that sex kitten beta programming is just a tool to distract and also help in the continuation of child sexploitation. I know it sounds extreme, but just watch this. Just watch it. You take this youthful, innocent character who naturally attracts a young cult following and influence that following through that character. Take Britney Spears, former Mickey Mouse Clubber. She was 16 when she filmed Hit Me Baby One More Time. Today's internet will have you believing that 16 is grown, but 16 is still very childish. Now, who was her core audience? Anyone who watched the Mickey Mouse Club, who was around her age group, so pretty young. At 19, she drops I'm a slave for you. We'll just play naive and act like 13-year-olds didn't bump this and watch the video on repeat, influencing their already curious mind. Christina Aguilera was right along her Musketeer co-star, dropping Genie in a Bottle at 16, and at 21, she dropped Dirty. But who was her audience? These characters don't always make a switch. Some come in with provocative personas already. You already know. Now, these artists do make grown-up music, but these artists have also been nominated for Kids and Teen Choice Awards in the past, so who is a part of their fan base? It's really all about awareness. These artists should know, and I believe that their teams know, who's a part of their base, but they don't care because sex sells, always has, and always will. So you're presenting this image regardless of who your intended audience is, and men, of course, are just going to love it because men love it. I love it. And the females will try to emulate, young or old, it doesn't really matter. Easily influenced people are easily swayed. So take WAP, for example. A song definitely for adults, but the scenery looks very childish. It also features a lot of young female artists in what? Animal print, black, white, and red, checkerboard. We know kids shouldn't have seen it, but if they follow, let's say, Normani, just because of her Fifth Harmony days, she promotes it on her socials, and girls want to see her, so they check it out. But the thing is, being focused on sex, we already know it can cloud your judgment. If we're presented with sexy subliminals all the time, it affects our ability to think clearly. I feel that is the effect that it has on the youth. To keep you focused on sex, securing a bag, and drugs, if you're into that. you know, low vibrational things, not necessarily bad, just a little low vibrational. If you focus on those things too much, it can leave you imbalanced. So let's take a look at who I believe could possibly be the betas of today. So Chloe Bailey, she started off with her sister on YouTube. She's been featured on Disney Channel and Grownish. But who is her fan base, her core fan base, really? And I'm not saying that older people don't watch Grownish or Disney Channel and things like that, but I'm just going to assume that her fan base is her age and younger. And I don't really think that she started gaining an adult following until she started showcasing more of her body, but that's besides the point. She drops her first solo project, Have Mercy, which features her in very provocative
of course, nothing
scenes.
being wrong with that. I know we live in a society today where body positivity, divine femininity, and women empowerment are at the forefront. So I totally understand wanting to showcase your body. We know that this video was viewed millions of times by guys, of course, but I think it's also safe to assume that the young women that follow her watched this video as well multiple times and maybe could have gotten a distorted impression of what self-confidence is outside of just being sexy and provocative. But also, it's a video for entertainment. I'm not here to argue the morals of quote-unquote grown people, but if you don't consider yourself a sexual being and you're portraying a sexual character to your audience and your fans with the advisement of your team and your label, I'm going to assume that it's an agenda. So how do you spot an agenda? Obviously, you have the youthful team in red, black, and white. I like to believe that that is some sort of initiation stance. So you'll see bands, basketball teams, cheerleaders in red, black, and white in a lot of videos. The 10-pointed star, which is a decagram, that's going to be a positive and negative pentagram placed on top of each other. It's a duality, Freemasonic gematria type deal, which is cool. How they put it around her face, that's cool. You got the pink theme. Pink is associated with joy, happiness, but it's also a color represented with what, you know what I'm going to say, young girls. That's just me being like facetious. I'm not even going to lie, but you can see that Britney Spears in the I'm a Slave for You video is also surrounded by people in pink, also hints of red, black, and white. So I think that's interesting. Also, let's note with this pink theme, there's also an underlying snake vibe. When Britney performed this at the VMA, she performed with the snake. Chloe's video had a Medusa theme, so pink, snakes. I wonder what's going on with Britney.
Leave Britney alone! Anyway, but let's take a look at her VMA performance as well. She comes in with the pink robe, of course, and then they drop down this angel, and of course you wouldn't think to look up the angel, but I was like, let me just look it up, because you know, nothing is coincidence. On stages like that, you have to look into it. So I looked into that angel, and of course it's from a monument in Italy that features 10 angels. That one has a lance in its hand that was used to pierce Jesus when they took him off the cross. So I thought that was very interesting. If this really was a battle between God and Satan, it's very interesting that you place that angel there. Anyway, you go through this portal and then everything is dark, like Halloween vibes, but not really, because her name is burning in red like hell. So that's cool, I guess. It's a vibe. Okay, enough of Chloe. Let's focus on Normani now. She is also signed to Beyonce like Chloe. She's an amazing dancer. She has great vocals. She was previously with Fifth Harmony in that group with Camila Cabello. You know what I'm talking about. That Baby I'm Worth It group. Yeah, that's the only song I know by them. But anyway, she dropped Motivation 2 years ago, which went viral. Everybody was trying to do that little booty bump challenge thing, and there was some young girls doing the booty bounce challenge thing. So I'm just going to assume that they probably still are following Normani till this day and caught Wildside with Cardi B. Let's get into how you spot an agenda. You got the lovely animal print. Let's turn them into cats. You know what I mean? Get a little girl on girl action. Yeah, it's a good little sex kitten agenda for you right there. I really enjoy this song. I actually didn't even watch the video until I watched Chloe's, because I already knew what the video was about. Let's look at the VMA performance though. Singing on point, dancing on a thou wow, but then we decide to bring somebody's mother. No one other than Tiana Taylor.
out on a cross so we can climb on top of her and simulate lesbian sex. Okay, it's giving very much sex kitten vibes. That's what it's giving me. But we hear comments like, best performance, feminine energy on the rise, y'all did that. But were we trying so hard to stop men from objectifying us just so we would in turn objectify ourselves as well? I'm biased though. I do have a 4-year-old daughter. We always think it's cool until it's our daughters or sisters doing this. But because they're making money and can support themselves and their families, it's all good. But if you weren't making money, would you still be doing it? That's the question. And if the answer is no, then that's what selling your soul is. Usually it's doing something that you usually wouldn't do for material things. Ignorance will have you thinking that you have to sign your name in blood or something like that, but usually it's just as simple as agreeing to something because your soul is energetic. Okay, and of course I had to throw in Lil Nas X. Like I said, sex kittens aren't just females. The guy was paraded around elementary schools promoting Old Town Road for the longest, and now he's selling sex and Satanism to the youth.
Fuck your kids.
Which is cool. But I think it might be an agenda, you know what I mean? Focused on keeping you in a low state where you can be easily influenced, because if we actually focused on elevating our consciousness and loving our neighbor and being the best us that we could be outside of just chasing material things, the whole Freemasonic system, Illuminati, whatever, it'd be fucked up. You know what I mean? They'd be in trouble. So that's why they promote all this subliminal imagery, sounds, frequency, songs that get you going to you just so you can stay overstimulated and distracted. But it's only funny because they just have negative intentions. The symbols that they're using in things, the checkerboard and all that stuff, very, very powerful. You can use those things with positive intent. Their intentions are just hella fucked up. So I think that it's just shady and they should be called out. Anyway, this is me, wewantWiggins, reporting on the raggedy ass little Illuminati BS that they be like and trying to pull. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, had a good time making it. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me know some of your thoughts. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you see where I'm coming from? I'm intrigued to know. Anyway, enjoy your life. Peace.